Welcome to Film Sesh. My name is Corey Tulaba, and I am here today with my guy DaRon Holmes from Dayton. Big man. DaRon, thanks for joining, man.
Nice to see you. Thank you guys for having me on.
It's our pleasure. I'm excited to chop it up today, break down some of your film. For anybody who maybe isn't super familiar with your game, how would you describe yourself as a player?
Well, I would say first I do it all. I can do it all in the court. I know a lot of people say that, but I'm being serious. For my size, I can literally do it all. I'm a very good team player as well. So I'm unselfish. I think my value is very good for my position. I think that I can mix it up and also on the defensive end, provide very good capabilities, being able to switch and guard. So I just think I bring a variety of different things to the court for my position that are unique.
Let's get right into your film here, and we got to start it off. We got to start it off big. So I need you to take me through this play. Do you remember this possession?
I do remember this possession. I do remember it. Oh yeah,
this was amazing. Take me through it.
Yeah, so it was a little play where we do guard dribbles over. That's Bray with the ball. Cheek sets a little screen, comes off. I'm coming to set a screen. I pop. The guy has to guard in perimeter now because my value of a shot. And then, I just felt like I could take off and dunk it, and that's what happened. It was Matt Cross lost a tooth on that play, but he's a very tough player. Like, shout out to him. Like, he's honestly very good. He gave us problems. So they have a very good team and a very good player right there. So yeah, that's all I did in that play.
Hey, Matt Cross, he can hoop for sure. Got a little like Tommy Hawkins into his game a little bit. But,
yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah, no.
Don't jump with me. Don't jump with me. That's a big time finish. And then this year you hit 38% of your threes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like and now all of a sudden that thing that, he could do this, it's theoretical. Now all of a sudden you're actually doing it in game situations. You talk about the tournament here in the tournament. Quick pick and pop, right? So
yeah, that has to make him respect it, right? Yeah, like
teams have to respect you through that.
Yeah, so like you said with this play, like Ballo, shout out to him, very good player on the offensive end, but on defense, my plan was to get him out on the perimeter and make him respect that shot. And if he didn't, I was just going to keep shooting it. So Arizona had to switch up their defense in the second half, especially because of that right there. So they realized that, hey, if we keep leaving this guy open, he's going to knock it down. And I will take that shot every time I'm open like that. So that's all that was.
Yeah, I mean, that's smooth, clean pick and pop. And what I like about, this possession, and this is something that you're really good at, boom, make contact with the screen, right? Like, because, a lot of bigs, and you do it too, like you'll slip out of it, especially when, maybe you send two to the ball or whatever, but like you got to be able to make contact and let your guard get a little advantage. And you do that on your screens, and that makes you harder to guard. Now, Ballo's got to go a little deeper because your guard got to step, and now hand down, man down, slept, right? And, I was looking because, we started off with that dunk. So you had over 70 dunks this year. And, this is something every year you've had over 70 dunks. You made over 33s this year. So I did a little, statistical dive, right? So guys who shot 38% from three, made 33s, made 30 dunks, and had a box plus minus over 10. This is the list that you're on right now, based on the season, right? Jaren Jackson Jr., Chet Holmgren, PJ Washington, Victor Oladipo, Obi Toppin, Dayton in the house, Lonzo Ball, Derek Williams, Mikal Bridges, Frank Kaminsky, Keegan Murray. That's the list. And you. So, I mean, that's a big time list, right? And it shows kind of all these guys were lottery picks. They all had, success in the league to various degrees. And it shows kind of the skill set that you bring. But like you said, you got to be able to do other things, take advantage of other things. You saw it in the opening clip, but now that you're knocking down shots, now you're able to kind of leverage that ability, right? And you talk about not being one-dimensional, not forcing that shot and taking it to the rack and being able to take guys off the dribble. And I think, a lot of people probably have this idea that maybe you're kind of just like a, pick and roll lob guy if they haven't watched this year, but you've really done a good job kind of developing, some ball skills too. So, what has gone into that as far as like what you do to work on the ability to confidently take it to the rack, be efficient with your movements and kind of, be a threat out with the ball in your hands too.
Yeah, you made a good point. For some reason, there's still some people out there that just think I'm pick and roll or pick and lob guy, and that's not the case. All that means is those people haven't really been doing the research, which is they lose credibility for stuff like that. So it's funny when you start to see like right after the combine or right after March Madness, now everybody's like, "Oh, he hits it." No, I've been doing it, the whole year, and then now you got to see it. So like this example right here is perfect. Like this is something throughout the season I got better with, and I was able to do so. Pick and pop, and I realized, hey, the defender's running at me. That's not the shot we needed. So let me attack the basket. Like I said, I'm 6'10". I'm going up to dunk it. So it just creates so many more things when you're able to add stuff like that to your game.
Now, take me through this one. We didn't see a ton of this, and you missed the shot, but come on.
Yeah. So yeah, that was something I also was working on. Those shots right there. So I pump fake, tried to drive. I saw all those people in the paint. So I was like, let me work on this step back and get this shot off. But honestly, like I just have to get more balance and I'll make that, So that's all that was for that shot. But I just got to get more balance.
But look, we could talk about people talk about you like you're just a pick and roll lob threat. You still are a pick and roll lob threat,
right?
Because like you said, multiple dimensions. You tell them to go throw it up. So what does it do for you to be able to? All right, well, I can pick and pop, but they kind of can't guess what I'm doing because I could also provide this rim gravity and go up and go get it too.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge part of the game as well. Like being able to put pressure on the rim like that is very crucial. Like it keeps the defense guessing, because they don't really know. And if I see it like that the defender that's guarding me is all the way up and helping too much on the guy with the ball, then I'm just gonna slip behind his head real fast. That's the IQ move. It's good to be able to mix it up like that, and just being able to put pressure on the rim is very huge for any team. So that's a big deal.
And then again, like this year, just seeing how much your game expanded this year, you're bringing the ball up. They're setting screens for you.
Yeah,
Do you remember this play?
I do remember that play. Yeah, so that's one of our actions. That's our Raider action right there. So, we just come off the screen, and teams started to try to scout it and would double off of that, and we would make different reads off of it. But it's good because like no big man's usually used to getting hit with a screen like that, so it's kind of confusing, and you have so many things you could do off of it. Like I could attack the basket like that, or find a teammate that if the other team wants to come and help so much, you're gonna have a shooter wide open. So it's just good to be able to mix it up like that, and it's nice.
Yeah, it's simple, right? Like it's Kobe, he's cutting through, he's going to the opposite corner, right? So this guy he can't really lag too much in the paint. If he does, like you could make that play, but the hang time there and the body flexibility.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Where'd that come from, man? Like that's finish.
Yoga. That's yoga. So I was doing, like I said, like I was really working all summer, all season. I was really working. I was really doing the things to invest in myself, invest in my body, and my teammates helped me out with that in practice. They pushed me as hard as I could. Yoga helped me be able to move differently, a lot of stretching and stuff like that. So for the people who weren't actually paying attention, some of us like players that don't have as much respect as we should. I have been working over the summer. You just got to pay attention.
100%. And I love like the fact that you're able to initiate these actions because I think, like again, like in the NBA, you'll see more big guard ball screens. And then a lot of these actions here where now you're just coming off and you're almost like, they think you're going to DHO.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one.
Take me through this one.
Yeah. So that's 5-out action. Fake the screen right there. Get the big guessing. Act like I'm handing it off. The guy wanted to cut me off early. So I just spun off of him and their load situation wasn't the best right there. So I mean, they weren't really helping too much. But if they did help more, then needs to be Cheeks has a wide open shot, or Javon, or anybody on that weak side over there. So that's the beauty of being able to handle the ball in those types of situations.
Yeah, and I mean, again, fluid, the spin, like clean. That's tough. Now, I mean, look, it's obviously still a work in progress. There's still things that to clean up.
Right.
Take me through this one.
So that was a similar situation with the.
Yep.
So I set the screen, I pop. Nate dives.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis comes and sets it right here. I come off. I just tried to run into him and shoot it over him. I mean, I could have got something different though. Let me see. Let me see. Nate's diving.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably could have DHO'd it to Nate or had Elvis pin down for Nate and DHO it to one of them and then roll and get a better shot. But I mean, that's all that was in that situation. Or you could always swing the
Yeah.
other side and get it to Brea or somebody
Right.
over there, Cheeks or Brea.
Yeah. Maybe just exactly. Like, pull it out. There's still a lot of time on the clock.
Right.
Because I think you just like kind of left or you went into that Euro like a little early.
Right.
Like
Right.
right. So you can probably pull it out, but like again, like these are all things that you get better at with reps, recognizing because there really, there wasn't a ton of options on like the kick out. So really, just like not forcing that kind of action.
Right.
I think is the way to go there. All right, but again, what's cool is you do have all of these other aspects to your game. You have that back to the basket stuff too. You have the traditional big man stuff, the dimensions, like you said. So when you're playing in the post, I like this here. I like banging body. He's a physical defender.
Mm-hmm.
Take me through, what you're trying to do when you do turn your back, and you got somebody guarding you in the post.
Yeah, so it really depends on who's guarding me and it depends on how the team plays. Key shot's pretty physical, so my goal was to just try to bump him down there a couple times, and then I had a little Luka move on him with the fake. But if that guy, Boswell and Love were to come over too far, then Brea would have been wide open. I was going to beam it to him. So I think they kind of knew Brea was right there and Elvis was right there and Nate's up top. So they kind of had a feeling. So they were like, okay, we're going to trust him one on one. I just tried to take advantage of that situation.
Yeah, because I mean he's a brick house. Like, he's strong, but
yeah, he's strong. Yeah, they're and Barlow's strong too. Yeah, those are some. They had a strong.
Yeah, and now going to a possession with Balo, and I think the difference here. Looking at this, I think when you struggle a little more finishing, I think like you could be more physical here. You only really give him one bump, right? Like, I feel like a guy like that, like you got to kind of bump him off his spot.
Also another thing is sometimes instead of me always turning my back, especially with like a big like Balo, maybe try to attack him without turning your back.
Face him up.
Maybe make one move and go, and then embrace that bump and use like my shoulder. If the team wants to come help, you got sprays, so you can just spray it out somebody at the 3-point line.
But again, like you play with physicality for sure, and when you get the ball on the block, look, you're getting low. And one, I think eight free throw attempts a game this year, right?
Yeah, around something like that, right?
Right. So I mean, you play with physicality for sure, and you're able to finish through that contact, and then knock down your free throws. That's a valuable skill. And you've mentioned it a couple of times, and I think you've always shown some passing flashes, but this year you've shown some some pretty high level stuff. So what are you reading here, and take me through this left hand?
Yeah, so right here, so the first thing is I'm trying my best to get deep post up so I don't have to make too many extra moves. So I read that he's like kind of guarding me straight up. So I seal him in. I kind of see that guy over there coming behind me. I just felt him. I saw Nate wide open at the top of the key. And me and my coaches over the summer in preseason, we worked a lot on offhand passes for situations just like this. And so I used my left hand. I felt comfortable with it. And Nate had a wide open three.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, the left hand pass, fluid, right? Allows you to protect the ball from the big that's guarding you. Perfect timing, avoiding the guy coming from behind. Great pass. And sometimes you might not even get the assist, but like this pass right here, I think having the vision to see the whole court. So you get the hockey assist here, right? Doesn't show up on the stat screen. What do you see in here?
Yeah, so I kind of knew the way this team plays defense, and we played against Davidson a couple times already, so we're kind of used to what's going to happen. I knew off the catch in the post, there's going to be another person coming because they don't like that post up action stuff. Um, so saw him come. I knew Cheeks was wide open. Boom, he sprays it to Brea, and I mean that's just they left Brea wide open. Basically.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't
Just
do
start.
that.
Just start getting. You just
But
start
they have
pulling
to
back
pick their
on
poison
defense.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to pick their poison. They rather not like have it be like me get a bucket inside. So they rather us use that at the three, and I mean we'll take that too. I mean we're fine with that. So you know.
But you got more than just in the post because at the next level, not that many guys get to play exclusively in the post. This is not quite a short roll, but like similar to an action that I think that you'll see like in the league. Kind of like that Draymond read. Come a little slip, and then so take me through this. Like, because it seems like you just have good court vision in general, knowing where you're going.
Yeah, so I mean, I could have short rolled here. VCU plays very aggressive, so I got open. I knew somebody was gonna come. I saw Cheeks, but I saw the bottom guy come all the way over for Cheeks. So I mean, and then once again, that's leaving Brea wide open. So when he's wide open like that, you have to give him the ball. So I just skipped it right straight to him. Tried to get him a good pass, and he's good enough to where if you close out him, he's still gonna shoot and make it.
Beautiful release, like picturesque. Being a two-way player and being somebody who can impact both sides of the ball is how you contribute on an NBA floor. Like the league is too talented right now to to only play one way. And if you do, you're billed as a specialist, and you're somebody who's had a lot of responsibility throughout your college career on this end of the floor. So, talk to me about like your philosophy defensively and what you think you bring to that end of the court.
Yeah, for me on defense, my position, we're like very big, especially like with the pick and roll situations or screening situations. So my goal is to be the captain of the defense and call out the actions and just tell everybody what I see. My goal is always talk and point, use active hands, be all over the place. So I kind of free roamed a little bit, but it was good, because I feel like our team was just very connected. And I feel like my goal is to help my team better on the
Let's dive into the film here. And I think the first thing that you got to be when you're 6'10" is you got to prove that you have some switchability.
Right.
Like you got to be able to do different things here. And, there's a lot going on here. And so take me through this possession here against Nevada.
Yeah, so believe it or not, that guy right there was hitting some crazy shots, and he could shoot the crap out of the ball. So I couldn't sit back on him. I had to get up. I felt confident enough, and I kind of wanted him to take a very deep one with a hand contested. That was my goal. But I mean, if he were to drive it, I felt like I had people behind me to help, and I felt like I could have stuck with him. So with that, I just had to recognize who it was, and I had to get up. That wasn't somebody who just like stay behind the 3-point line. You got to have both feet above it.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting from the logo there. But what I love about this possession is just like, they're putting you in multiple actions, right? Like contain, get back, now switch. And, we pause it like, look at you in your stance. Like you're deep in your stance, wide, 7'1" wingspan. So like you said, you feel like you can get him to take a tough shot. And shooters like to shoot, especially, when they are feeling it, they like to shoot it a little bit. So, I mean, making a shooter hit a tough shot over the 7'1" wingspan, if he hits that, it's like, all right, like
yeah, that's huge.
Up,
right? Last 3 minutes of the game, like this is crunch time. This is like, oh, we're locked in. So that's one of those situations too. I'm like, yeah, man, we need this stop right now. So we need it. So I was like, yeah, he's gonna have to work for this bucket.
And it seems like you felt comfortable on guard. Like some big men, like slow foot, they just can't do it. Seemed like you were comfortable with it. So take me through, like, what are you trying to do against these guards?
So, okay, another big thing I feel like with my defense that I'm pretty good with, and my teammates are also very good with this as well. We're big on scouting report execution. So we really do read our scouting reports and read how the other player plays. So this guy right here, he's not known to be the best shooter. I don't think on the scouting report. And I don't know. He's probably a very good shooter now. But at least when I was guarding him, I wasn't too worried about him shooting the three. So that means I could play off just a little bit. And I knew how fast he was because he would blow by people like nothing. So I'm trying to stand and like play in the middle. Maybe he shoots it, maybe he doesn't. He tries to blow by me. He rejects it because he realizes I'm there to cut him off. And he took a contested mid-range shot, which in our principles is like that's good defense for us. So if he makes it, pat him on the back and say, "Hey, good shot." But I mean, he missed in that situation, so it helped us.
That's forcing guys into jumpers, but you're fluid enough to be able to move with guys. And
right.
You remember this possession?
I do. I do remember that. I do remember that one.
So this is a professional bucket.
This one was quick, so that screen kind of was fast. So we call it red. So we had to switch that one. So we switched after that screen because that was fast as crap. And then I was like, you know what? Like Caleb Love's good at shooting those mid-range shots, so I had to get up a little bit. And he drove by me, but I felt like he had a layup. And I was like, I'm gonna just block it from behind because the only two things he can do is shoot it on the same side or try to fake up and reverse it on the other side. And I'm fast enough to get either of those blocks. So I trusted my defense in that situation. Maybe try not to have him blow by me, but I mean, he got by me a little bit. So that was one of those blocks where it was very good for our momentum too.
What's happening on this possession here?
All right, so this one right here, that cat, he got me a little bit. I mean, that was one of my worst games this year, personally. I think I didn't know how good of a shooter he was. On the scouting report, like we were kind of like, he might make it, he might not, kind of play it. Now he could shoot, and it took me a second to realize that. So I should have just been up a little more and forced him to drive. He's actually a lot better than a lot of people think. So he's good with his left hand. So very good player. So that's all that was.
Yeah, and then we see that like later in the game,
right?
He's going to come, pick and pop. You're still going to contain the guard, the drive, and you get out hard or close.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, see, I was kind of like, I realized, hey, like he's hit a couple already. Let's not risk it again to where he's draining these, especially at this point of the game. So I try to help out a little bit, and I run as fast as I can just to try to get him off the line and contest that because he can shoot, So shout out to him, good player.
Yeah, but again, when you're running out hard, when you're using that length, when it's hard to shoot over you.
Right.
Little choppy feet, right? Like staying on balance because you want to foul a 3-point shooter, especially in this moment, close game.
Right.
So obviously, great job kind of adjusting mid game to what they're doing on the floor. And then I think one of the things you've always been shown to do as a shot blocker that's really important, and this is really impressive just because of the quick read, is like coming over and blocking shots from the weak side and being a real rim protector that can put a lid on the rim. So take me to his possession because you got to make a quick reaction because they're putting you in multiple actions.
Yeah. So this game right here was one of the games where I wasn't really hitting at my shots. So I was very motivated on the defensive end because I'm like, I'm not hitting anything, man. Like I gotta lock in. So defensively, I was kind of motivated. Scouting report, that's one of the best passing big men in the country at the collegiate level. So I kind of knew like, hey, he's going to be very good with passing the ball. So I need to play back a little bit and kind of read him. Don't pressure him too much right here. It was kind of too late to get up there. And I saw him already eyeing down that back cut. And when he did, like, I was right there to help. So timing, because, I'm athletic, but a lot of it's timing, so I just made the right read on that. Had my hands kind of up already and was ready to block it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite defensive possessions that you've had just because of how good the time was. Because he made a quick read, like you said, he's a good passing big man. I mean, that's like one touch and you're able to recover. Right. So look, we got a few weeks, a month, whatever it is, until the draft. What do you got going on the rest of this process to prepare for that moment? Because you're so close to it.
Yeah, honestly, just trying to work on everything, shooting, just doing whatever I can, a lot of reps, and a lot of film, not only on past games, but a lot of NBA film and watching all that type of stuff and just seeing like, hey, this is what I need to work on. This is what we see, like this is what I see, So being able to do that and being able to be a very high IQ basketball player is gonna help my case out a lot. So doing all those types of things are gonna put me in a best
If you
position.
were, sitting down and talking to an NBA front office and they were like, "Sell me on DaRon Holmes. Like, why should our organization invest in you?" What would you say?
I would say the same things I'm saying now. I would say my value. You guys see what I can do on the floor, and you guys see how I can help contribute to your team. And I would say I work. You know, it's I wake up, I eat, I go to the gym, I come back, I sleep and get back in the gym, and then I do it again, and I eat again, and I get right back in the gym. So it's like every day I'm doing the same things. Like I'm working, you know. So that's what I would tell them, and I would say like I'm confident, and I'm here to I'm here to work hard. It's that simple, and that's all I would tell them. And they gotta either respect it, they believe in it, or they don't. And I would be like, hey, like I'm here. You guys believe in me or not? It's up to you. So, but that's literally all I would probably say.
DaRon, I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule. I've seen the work in person. For multiple years now, I've seen the person. So I'm looking forward to watching your journey in this league, man. And good luck the rest of the way. And I appreciate you taking the time to chop it up.
I appreciate you. Thank you for everything. Seriously.